and we will get started in just a moment. For those who are just joining, just letting you know it's being recorded. Uh, and I'm going to light the smudge actually. I am going to kind of get started. So, and for those of you who don't know what that is, I'm lighting sage. I actually have all four medicines, all four of our sacred medicines here, and matches that are not doing the job. There we go. So I have sage and actually a couple of varieties of sage. I have cedar and tobacco and sweetgrass all in here. And that's all for us to open in a good way and to just clear the space. And yes, we can even clear the virtual space. We can do that. So, yeah. So, I'm going to smudge myself first and my drum, and then I'm going to just offer this to you and my technology. Okay, yeah. So the rest of this sage is all, and not sage, but I usually use just sage. But yeah, all of these four medicines are all for you. So you can think about your intentions. We're like, I think 3 days away from the new moon, or maybe 4 days away from the new moon. Um, yeah, we have a lot of new beginnings energy happening. We have partial solar eclipse even coming, and there's a lineup of planets in the sky right now. It's kind of a cool time. Yeah. So let yourself, if you have prayers, intentions that you want to put into the smoke, if you have anything, well, we're going to be releasing stuff throughout the session. So let's just put our prayers and intentions in here, or into the middle of the circle. Sometimes I'll say that, but they'll go where they need to go. So welcome. So we're going to get started. So Bojo Tansei Mishkikanagamwana Nikwinadishnikas Gokoko Nido Dem Calgary Nindunjaba Deshkan Sibi Megwanadada Nia Nihio Anishinaabe Kwe English, Scottish, French, Mi'kmaq, Irish, and Dao. So just saying greetings in the Ojibwe and Cree languages as far as I know how so far. On my kind of identity recovery journey, I'm a 60 scoop survivor, so I was adopted at birth. Did not grow up Indigenous or know that I was Indigenous actually at all until my 30s, and now I'm on that journey of finding out more about who I am. So I told you I was born in Calgary, and I told you that I am living in London, Ontario now. And I will also say that I'm grateful to be living in a part of London that is on Upper Canada Treaty 2 land, and is also subject to the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Covenant Belt. The lands of London, Ontario are the territory of the Anishinaabe, the Lenape, Haudenosaunee, Wendat, and Chinangtan peoples. So feel free to tell us in the chat, where you're joining from. If you know the Indigenous territory, the treaty, then feel free to put that in there and include that, like my lovely assistant Martha is asking you to as well. Yeah, so my intentions, I'm just going to say mine first, are that that everything I be, do, say, feel, think, believe, and act on in this circle be for the highest good of all life everywhere. And that's always my overarching intention. And then I also have the intention of holding space for you in a good way, and beginning and delivering and closing this circle in a good way. We will have a welcome song in a moment, and when we close, we will have a traveling song as well, so that we are bringing in and acknowledging our I like to call them your higher realm support team, ancestors, if it's creator, God, goddess, the universe, higher self, whatever it is for you, and your ancestors, and we're acknowledging and thanking them and welcoming them in. So yeah, so in a moment I will sing that song, and again, thinking about your intentions. If you have some kind of a healing request, you can think about that and kind of continue to put that out there into our circle. And yeah, I'm seeing people in different places. Very cool. I don't This is interesting. The Zoom is looking different to me today every time. So I'm just looking. I'm here without audio. Ooh, I hope you can listen in. Hmm. Maybe try a different device. I'm looking in the chat here and seeing that. And you'll get the recording. And you'll feel the energy, even if you can't hear it. So, yeah, so I'm just, let me see here. Yeah, and lots of hellos, and that's awesome. Different places, Treaty 7, yeah. Cool, yeah. Awesome to see different people from different places here. So the welcome song I want to share is actually the one that I share when I do when I do these sessions, the private sessions, medicine song healing work that I do. It's a song that comes from my own grandmother, which I did not know when the song came through. I just knew that, like, I work with different spirits, and yes, I see dead people. So I didn't know. I thought she was just one of the spirits that come to help me. But I learned through my elder that she's my own grandmother, and then later found out even more about which one. And so from my father's side, from the indigenous side, and she gave me this song in my kitchen when I came back from a women's water ceremony. It was I think it was about 2 weeks long, that ceremony. I can't remember how long it was, at Thunder Mountain in Ontario. And when I came back, when I went to that mountain, I was given 7 songs, and they were to stay. And then I was given 7 songs that I could bring and share from spirit. And so this is one of those songs, but yes, it comes straight from my grandmother. She was dancing up a storm in the kitchen when she was giving it to me, telling me it's her favorite song. So it's called Grandmother's Light, and it does bring in the grandmothers, but it also, it's really bringing in all of our higher realm support. And it's also a chance for me to set up the sacred space and creating a container, if you will, so that we are all in a safe, sacred space, as safe as we can be on the internet, Yeah, I'm going to drink some water as well. And then the water wants me to speak for it. And so I will a little bit. I have some moon water here because whoops, I have my blur on. I'll take that off. I just realized that. But I have my moon water here because the full moon gives us a chance to have healing water. And so I have put out my water, actually I put it out a couple of days before last full moon. And that offers healing energy. So now I drink it throughout this cycle. So really blessed by that. There we go. Get rid of my blur so you can see if I'm showing you things. Okay, so Grandmother's Light is to bring in our and welcome our ancestors, our higher realm support, and to kind of set the space and get us started. So that's what I'm going to share with you now. And while I'm singing this, just focus on whatever it is that you want to get out of tonight, whatever it is that you want to get out of this event. And maybe that's winning too. I don't know, right? So, but whatever you want to get out of this, just let yourself focus on that. I'm going to do 4 honor beats, and those are to send out our prayers and our intentions in all directions. And then the song will come after that. Way ah, way ah, way ah, way ah, way ah, way ah. Way ah. So just let yourself bring in a nice big belly breath. Let yourself really receive that deep belly breath and hold it at the top of your breath if you can, or do another one and do that. And let it flow through, and then release the breath when you're ready. We'll do one more, just breathing into your belly again. Holding it at the top, just spread that all the way through your whole bloodstream and all of your cells. And then release the breath. Yeah. Yeah, so we're here. So feel your feet underneath you. If you've already started to go deep, like feel your feet underneath you and look around your space. You're in a physical space wherever you are. And you're also in this beautiful virtual circle. So we get to have both and be in our bodies and be present, which helps us to receive more and to be able to release and just be able to be with that energy. So before we get started, give me a yes in the chat if any of this sounds like you, any of it. You're a woman, or you have a highly developed sacred feminine part of you. You tend to feel things deeply. You've had loss in your life, maybe trauma too. You're cracking open a little bit or maybe a lot. Even if you've had a spiritual awakening already, the disconnect, the pain on the planet right now, maybe in your life too, or feeling like a lot, but you know you're here with a purpose, right? And to be part of bringing humanity and our beautiful planet back into balance, right? Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of yeses. So you're in the right space. That's good to know, right? So yeah, and you're going to get a lot out of this session because that's the kind of that's where we're at right now. Like that's just where we're at. But when you can be open like that, and when you know that this is what's going on for you, I know I can serve you, because that's the kind of people who come to me all the time and who I serve all the time. So if so I see those yeses and I love it. And I'm going to say what's going to happen in our circle. So thank you for outing yourself in the chat. And so how this is going to flow, one of you is going to, of course, win the Medicine Song Healing Hotseat session, right? And the person who wins will have that session, but you're also going to get healing from it, because it's kind of like this just natural ripple effect that's going to happen because you're here and because that's my intentions, right? It's for the person who's winning, but it's also for everyone in the circle. Like you're going to get something. Spirits like to piggyback sometimes on other ones too, and so grandma that comes for someone there might be one right behind her going, and me too. So sometimes like I'll just say whoever's coming through, whatever I see, whoever shows up and all that. But I'll get more into that when we get going with the actual healing. So we have a bit of a giveaway, kind of like a special invitation later on that will give 13 more of you a chance to have the same, to have one of these, but not in the event, because that would be forever. We'd be here all night. But we'll have that opportunity for you. Stay till the end for that, or check your email about half an hour after we're done if you can't stay till the end. We're going to go around 75 to 90 minutes, just so you're aware. And of course, you'll get the replay afterwards, but you do need to be here to win. So if you're listening to this on the replay and you hear your name, but yeah, you won't be, if you're here and you win, you're going to get the session tonight. So about me, actually there was a little bit more I was going to say, right? So we're going to do the healing, like we'll do the healing session, and then I'll share with you about the 13, how you can get that chance to have a mini session for yourself. And what else? Yeah, and I think that's it. And so I wanted to share a little bit about myself, because I looked through and I saw that there's quite a few of you from that have been in my world for a while. That's awesome. It's so beautiful to see you and to have you with me again. And there's also some of you that I don't recognize the names of. So I'll let you know a little bit about who I am and about this work and what I do here. And not everyone knows about, even if you've been in my world for a while, you might not know about this work. So I'm a Juno award-winning artist. I'm a grieving mom. Junos are kind of like the Canadian version of the Grammys. And through my signature medicine song healing work, which I'm going to share with you, and also keynotes and workshops, circles like this, my picking up the pieces and other programs, like different courses that I have. I use my music. It's always, everything comes from song for me. Just like that welcome song starts, it starts the sessions too. That's always how I start. Like, so I had to have that welcome song before I can do one of those sessions. And I use my music to help women empaths and Indigenous women to get through trauma, grief, and exhaustion, anxiety, things like that, and reawaken to who they are and the gifts they carry, and also embody resilience. So my passion comes from loss and grief. My mom's death anniversary is actually today. I had to look it up because it's been a long time. I was like, how long has it been? How many years? And it's been 41 years. So 41 years ago today, my mom died by suicide. And 2.5 years later, my dad died of a massive heart attack, and I was the one to find him. And then recently, my son was murdered in 2016. And take a breath if you didn't know that. Receive a belly breath, even if you did know that, because it can feel heavy. And you know, I do this work for myself too, like not giving myself sessions. It's kind of weird to do that, but when I listen back to the recordings, I actually get healing. So, and I ask for healing when I'm doing this. Like, I'll ask for healing for myself when I'm, any healers out there, ask for healing for yourself when you're doing sessions for others. Yeah. So, I don't know if I shared this before. I'm going to share a little bit of a story about how this kind of came to be and what these sessions are about. Like, so, yeah, I share different parts of the story in different times, but I don't know if I ever shared this because anyways, I have this beautiful crystal here, and you can kind of see it's a seed crystal, and there's literally baby crystals growing on the side, if you can see that. And it's a Lemurian seed crystal. It's a form of quartz, just a very special form of quartz. And so, you know, when those times when you go into a crystal shop and you're like, I can't leave because that thing wants me to buy it. I'm not going to be able to leave without it, right? You know, those moments. And I've had lots of those too. And this was one of those times I saw it. I remember it was sitting there just like this and on this shelf. And I'm like, and I knew, right? And it was speaking to me, and I knew, and I had all kinds of experiences with this beautiful crystal. But what happened, and this was 2008. So 2008, I had this amazing session with Indigenous healers back when I was in a healing lodge in 1998 or 1999, and they told me I was a healer, but I hadn't picked up that responsibility, that bundle. I hadn't had the confidence, frankly, to do it. I was like, who, me? No. And I was like, wow, I'm just beginning my healing journey, because I was at that point. And so I didn't do it, and I paid for it, really, because what happens is if we don't pick up our gifts, we might have a little bit of a hard time. So 2008 came along and really like kicked me in the spiritual butt, right? Like, and I was told. And so I had just the most horrible winter, and actually it was like 2007 to 2008. That winter was just awful for me. Like, my legs were hurting. I don't know. I didn't even have arthritis back then. But I had been hit by a vehicle in 1998 or 9. When it was like, I get those years mixed up when I got the healing session and when the knee happened. But I had a hard time, and I couldn't. I was like, my money was going down the hill because I couldn't work very much because I was in so much pain, and all this stuff was happening, and I'm like, you know, why me all winter long, trying to make things better. And then I had this hope. I'm like, oh, everything's going to be okay in March, because it always was. Every single March, everything would be okay. I'd get all these gigs, and my body would feel good, and everything would be good, right? No, that did not happen. March was like, no, I don't think so. And so I took this crystal into ceremony with me. In my apartment in Toronto. I sat there, and it was actually what we call a cedar bath ceremony that I did for myself, and I brought this crystal with me, and I asked whoever was listening. I said, tell me what to do and I'll do it. That's my exact words. I said, I'll never forget it. because the moment later I heard a male voice, and this never happened back then because I just never heard physical human sounding voices all by myself. That never, but I heard this male voice say, gather the people together. And I actually had a gathering coming up, and so I thought it was about that, but I've continued to gather people together ever since as well. So kept that part of my promise. And the other thing that happened was like whoosh, this spiritual download came, and I had this healing technique given to me. The medicine song healing technique. It wasn't called that way back then, but that's what it called itself later. And this is, a promise that I made to them. So I started doing these sessions, practice sessions with people, and like the most crazy things were happening, like people's legs and arms moving all by themselves in the session. And like one of my most, like if I would, like I have a healthy inner skeptic, like probably many of you, right? Like, I just want to make sure this is real, right? Like, how is this possible? And they were telling me to do this by distance. And we're talking like with people who are like thousands of miles away, right? So I had, these people that were literally thousands of miles away, and they were telling me all these things that were happening. And the one that really sort of got me was, okay, this person that's in a country I've never even heard of, their daughter there with them had a tumor between her heart and her lungs. Most of it had been, like they had surgery, and most of it was gone. But there was something critical happen, and her one of her relatives reached out to me and said, can you do a session for her? I'm like, okay. And I was a little scared because my daughter was the same age, actually. So I was like, ooh, I need to make sure I really get grounded and centered and be very present and in my body, right? And I was, and I did the session, and 2 weeks later she reached out again, and she said, I don't know what you did, but this thing is gone. Like they checked, and there's nothing, no trace of it. So I was just, and they've reached out to me since then, like years later, and she's doing very well. So it makes me really happy. But that was like, that sealed the deal. I'm like, okay, I believe you now. Like if there's any doubt left, I'm like, no, this works, and just trust it. And so I kept going and doing these sessions, and so that's been kind of the deepest work that I do with people. And that's why I like to share it, and in ways that, like, I've been able to sort of allow it to evolve, so that like in 2010 I started doing group sessions over, really it was just audio back then. Before we had things like Zoom, we just had like teleseminar things. So I did a teleseminars where I would just offer these sessions for a group, and then I started doing now being able to do this over Zoom. Like now we have video, and it can be even more fun. So, but yeah, the sessions are done by distance. That's the most powerful way for some reason. I've done them in person, but I've always found distance is the most powerful. And I think it's because people get out of their way because there's no sort of distractions. But so we're gonna, but I'll show you this way here. And for me, it's like I'm with you when I'm doing the session. So it doesn't matter the distance. I can see you. I can feel your energy in that. And there's ways I do that. The way I do that is with your voice or your photo. That's how I do it. And so in this session here, it'll be easy because whoever wins, I'm going to see who you are. I'm going to see you. I'm going to hear you. We're going to talk, and then we'll do the session. So it'll be very easy. Yeah. So that's kind of where this came from, and how how I'm able to do these. Like, and I told them, I'm like, you guys got to help me out here because you're telling me I can do this, and I don't know. But I just listened and let it come through, and it just happened, and I knew what to do. I went in not knowing, and the first session I knew exactly what to do. So our higher realm support teams are pretty amazing. So make sure you're asking them for help, right? Make sure. So let me see here. Oops, we have one in the waiting room, looks like. Letting that person in. Yeah, so I'm checking my chat real quick, because we're gonna start moving on here. Learning how to use my gifts, awesome. Yeah, so Yeah, so we're gonna get going, but yeah, I wanted to let you know, like the Lemurian crystal is sort of like a lightning rod of and this is what I don't think I've shared. Might have shared it in my like way old blog long time ago, but it's sort of like a lightning rod for these three ancestors of mine from the stars. And I know from our elders and also from earth science, actually, way back when, that we are made of the same thing that stars are. And our elders will tell us, like, we come from the stars. And so it's not that much of a surprise to me when that happened, but it was a little bit of a surprise because I was in my bathtub and I'm like, whoa, this is really wild. So I had these three star ancestors come through this crystal. It was like almost like a telephone for them, I guess. And yeah, and they gave me this information, and they've given me so much more since. It's just like I can't even get into that. That's more stories, but yeah, that's kind of like how this works. And so let's just have a sip of water. Actually, I'm gonna have a sip of water. It's important to drink water too. Like afterwards, make sure you have a good glass of water, because it'll help you to move the energy through and help you to release. Yeah. So so I want to check in before we get going. All of this is preparation for all of you, so that when we get down to things, you're going to be ready. When we do this privately, it's different. I have, I'll send out information. You'll have the instructions. You get a guided meditation that I created. But right now we're doing this live, so I want to make sure you're ready and you know what's going to happen and that sort of thing, and you feel safe, right? It's important. So I want to check in. How are your energy levels? What emotions and sensations are you feeling? Like, how are you feeling? Like, and really, so breathe into your belly. Let's just take a breath together. Just breathing into your belly and holding it at the top of the breath again, letting it flow through you, and then releasing the breath. That brings you into your body when you breathe this way. And now feel in, like, what's happening? What sensations are there? And pop it in the chat if you want. And if you want to have your eyes closed for a moment to do that and then put it in the chat, then feel free. And I'll tell you, I'll go first. I'll say that I'm excited. I'm like a little kid when I do these. I love doing these events. And I've also, my feet are a bit cold because we're in the middle of winter in May for some reason. And yeah, that's about it right now. Actually, I had leg pain earlier, but just getting ready for this, I guess that took care of that. So yeah, so feel free to pop that into the chat, or, you don't have to do that. You can just hold it for yourself, just noticing, and you don't have to change anything. It's just about noticing, and there's no judgment here. So let's drop our judgment of ourselves and of everybody else. It's just us here, and just getting aware, because when we're aware, we're in our bodies, right? And when we're in our bodies, we can receive healing. So, and then you can, there's out of body stuff that can happen. I feel that question happening in some of your minds, and that's cool too. But we need to be in our bodies to start, because we need to be grounded. Yeah. So, yeah, so I am going to get ready here to try and screen share this thing. Zoom is having a moment with me today, so we'll see how this works. But I grabbed this random number generator. It's like the Wheel of Fortune. and so I'm going to use that to find our winner. And I hope that you are live, whoever is picked, and feel free to put your prayers and intentions out. I know exactly who needs to get it is going to get it. So I am going to, let me see, I got to screen share that. Since I can actually do this, so you can see it, that's kind of cool. Yeah, so there we go. And and it's exactly 59 people, because 61 or 62 or something registered, and a couple of them couldn't come because of time zone issues. So I'm going to go one. I'm like drum roll, but I don't have my drum in my hand. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to spin. There we go. We'll see. Number 23. Let me see. I feel like I'm like some bingo person. Okay. So number 23 is actually Michael. Holy, you had a session with me before too, Michael, so you know what's going on. So I'm going to bring you on to you get to have the session. That's amazing. So hang on a second. We're going to close this. Come on, Zoom. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to bring, I don't even know how to do that now. I'm like, wait, yeah, no, I do. We just have to find, well, Michael, you can come off mute for a second and just let us know where you are so we can find you here. If I can find you, let me see. Are you under your name? Yeah, you're under Michael. Yeah. So congratulations. Yeah. There you are. I see you. So I will ask you to unmute, I guess. Is that
I thought I. Ooh, hey, I thought I unmuted. Sorry.
no worries. Yes. Good to see you. So yeah, so we have done a distance session before, so you kind of know the score and how this works. I'm going to just close this thing down and get us ready and started here. Um, yeah, so I'm also going to be speaking to everyone else here. So I want to say, congratulations and that you're the winner. Let's and we'll get started. So I'm going to share a little bit here. Like a friend of mine once told me, and she's a spoken word artist, dub poetry queen of
Mm.
Canada, really. And she said
Oh,
people want to change their lives, but then they realize they have to change their lives, right? And so I'm going to ask Michael, and I'm also asking all of you, are you ready and willing to take the leaps you're given today or in future sessions? Be present for what shows up. Clear out what is not you and what does not serve you, and allow yourself to receive support to help you change your life. Are you?
yeah.
Yes? Awesome.
Can I refill my water real quick? I just accidentally
Yes.
kicked the whole thing. I promise I'll be like just two. I'm not gonna keep you. I promise. I'll just be
Okay.
like less than 2 minutes.
Okay. So I will talk to the rest of you while Michael's going and doing his thing. So Spirit speaks freely through me. So I'm going to let you know, like, I'm going to be just sort of waving my hands around. I'm going to be talking. I know Michael already knows all of this, so that's all good. And whatever our ancestors and guides are going to show me or tell me for your highest good, all of you and Michael's, I'm gonna just say it, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna say it. Um, and when Michael comes back, I'm gonna have him. You can, and this is how my sessions work. You can tell me if you want, or you don't have to tell me anything. You can ask me, oh, my back is hurting, or I need something. And if you want, pop that into the chat, right? Like put in your intentions. If there's something going on for you that you want specific support around during this event, put that into the chat if you want, if you feel comfortable to, or whatever you feel comfortable to. Uh, and multitasking, try not to do it. I am a multitasker all the time, and I'm certainly doing it now because I have to. But
All
um,
right,
okay, awesome, you're back. So
I'm
yeah,
back.
so
And
I'm just letting everyone know not to like to just sort of bring your focus to here and now and to you yourself. Um, and whatever is shared here, first of all, it's private. I'm not gonna send out the chat anywhere. You can save it for yourself if you want because you're part of the event, but I'm not gonna send it out so that it's just for this circle and those who are here live in it. Um, and whatever is shared here, yeah, you're going to get something from it too. And some of those messages that come through might even be for you as well as Michael. So um, for everyone here, and then I'm going to ask you, Michael, in a moment, like if you have something you want to focus on or not. But for now, for everyone, energy boundaries. We need to have them. And one of the easiest ways for me to do that and to help you to do that too is to imagine you have, like, remember biology back in high school? So when you learned about cells, right? And so it's like a big bubble that is all around you, around your own bubble that you already have, your aura. And imagine that it's like this beautiful cell wall that brings in exactly the nutrients you need and lets go of the stuff that you don't need and does not allow in anything that is not what you need. Okay? So imagine you've
right,
got one of those around you. And this is for Michael, and it's also for everyone here. And also if you want to close your eyes or if you want to focus on something in front of you, um, and open yourself as much as you can to receive, to release and flow whatever is meant for you to receive, release, and flow. And let's keep we'll keep the chat quiet until I prompt you. Like at this point, after you've written, like feel free to put your intentions in there and then focus on them. So we don't have too much distraction going on. And yeah, and just really allow it for yourself. Just allow it for yourself. Michael, we've got some noise going on your end there. Um, but we'll probably so Michael, actually tell me if there's something that you want to focus on. Just one or two things that if you want, and if you don't have anything and it doesn't matter, then that's cool too.
I would say for me, the largest part I wanted to focus on is just like peace and being more, because I have a minor anxiety thing sometimes. So I guess really just peace is most important.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so go ahead and meet well, I can actually I can meet you from here. Good. And then the song that way will be nice and clean for you. And then afterwards we're going to have a little talk afterward, a follow up. So everyone else, and you just take a breath into your belly. And if you want to close your eyes or find something to focus on so that you can kind of just get yourself in the zone, and also being in your body. So just noticing yourself in your body and feeling maybe your feet on the floor, feeling yourself supported by the earth, whatever surface you happen to be on. Yeah, and take a belly breath. Let's take another belly breath together here. So just breathing in and then breathing it out. Yeah. And so I'm going to offer this session. So I'm going to start with my drum. I'm going to sip some water first. That's a good thing for all of you to do as well. And just let yourself relax. Relax, receive, release, and flow, whatever is yours to receive, release, and flow. And so I'll bring through this song first, like I always do, and then we'll see what happens while I'm doing the energy work. I will ask for messages and just share whatever comes. So just breathing, letting yourself be present. Hey, aha. Hey, oh, hey, just breathing here, breathing in, through and out at your own pace, and just allowing yourself to be present with whatever is showing up for you. Whether that's emotions or maybe visions or sensations, whatever's happening for you, just allowing yourself to feel and to flow and allow. I'm going to offer this healing work, and we'll see what comes through. First of all, there's an eagle here. As soon as I say what first comes through is a bald eagle, a male bald eagle that is flying over from behind you, Michael, and then over and then past me, flies over me. And I am not sure if he has anything more to say or if he's just passing through, but they often will come to, I mean, for sure it's about leadership, but also they come through to take those prayers up. And so whatever I feel like there's an unspoken prayer that he just took up with him. Yeah. So, okay, that's what that was. I'm feeling trees, and now I'm seeing a whole bunch of them. They're all hardwood trees. Every time I see trees and I see them very green, they're so green. All the like everything is just so full of life, and that's always about growth and sometimes new beginnings. And I would think and feel that this is new beginnings, but I don't translate because my elder taught me not to. So I'm asking, what are those trees? They do have a message. It's not that. It's something. I hear them whispering, and it's hard to pick up the message. And so we'll see what happens. So the next thing I'm seeing is sort of like it almost looks like the new moon. It is the new moon. They're showing me the new moon. And underneath it, there's this energy that's coming from the new moon. I wonder if that's to do with the solar eclipse, but again, not sure. Unless they're going to tell me that information. But the new moon, there's something to do with, for sure. So new beginnings, this eagle, and then the new moon is showing herself to us. So and for everyone here, it's definitely about new beginnings. And I'm just going to check in with your energy field. I'm pretty sure before it was pretty expanded too, but it's feeling pretty expanded now. And the boundary is not the greatest, and often so that happens with a lot of people. So don't, that's just the way it is. Humans are not great with boundary work. And so sometimes we have to really practice that. So I'm just sort of boosting that boundary, and that should help everyone else as well a little bit. Just boosting that so that you have your bubble, and again, it's nutrients that you need that come in, and anything that you don't need that just gets to release. Just having that intention, and that's good. And I'm feeling there's some stuff sort of around your headspace that is irritating you or something. And so I'm just kind of smoothing that out and offering this. There's healing energy kind of going from from side to side to get all of your whole headspace, but all including your actual head. I don't know what's happening, if it's thoughts or if there's brain stuff that's been bothering you, or it just feels like an irritation. So they're smoothing that out for you. Somebody is here with all this golden energy, and they're behind me, and I can almost feel like this sort of dragony energy, but I don't know who that is, and they're not really letting me fully see them. But I see that there's I see the golden light, and then I see some pink, and that always to me is like the highest frequency energy that there is. It's like that's love. That's universal love that's coming down and filling up our circle here. And they're showing me, it's funny because they're showing me like you as this winged creature. And it's like you're flying, and you feel sort of awkward in the air, like a bat or something, like you can't really even find your way. And it's like, how do you do this? And you're trying to fly, and it's like your body already knows how to do it. So there's something that you are trying and trying and trying, but if you let go of the trying, you already know how. You already know how. That's the biggest message that they have for you, and there might be more, But that is, it's like Yoda says, right? Like, do, don't try, do, or something like that. It's like that. They want you to, and this is the message also. Like, take this in for like everyone listening. Take this in. Sometimes we get into that space of trying too hard to make something happen or to make something work, and when we let go of the trying, then the answer how to do it or just everything flows. Like it just gets easy. So that's and it's with some, it's not with like it's with, there's something that you've been trying to do. I don't know what it is. Anyways, that's what they have for you there. And I'm asking as well, like, okay, anyone else here? And then as soon as I ask that, I see that there is a deer that is here. It's actually a female, just behind me and to, well, so to your right, Michael, in front of you. Just reminding really all of us about that gentle energy. Like my drum is actually deer skin, so I do get a lot of deer medicine. And almost every session that I do for a client, there's a deer. But this one feels like this one is specifically for you, Michael, too. Like this is, and I see her lying down now. She's just lying down. She kind of circled around you and came right over to your left side and just lie down right there with you. Just giving you that gentle energy, and she's sort of that almost like a mothering energy for you. And I feel like she has a connection to a relative or someone on your higher realm support team. I'm not quite sure who, but there's some kind of connection to someone else, and they're not showing. I can tell that they're here too, and I can kind of see where they're hanging out, which is just where I'm putting my hand. I don't know if anyone can see that, but it's kind of like to the left of your, well, kind of where she is actually. Yeah, just above her. There's the being that's connected to her, and they don't need to show themselves. Sometimes they don't. She's just like, yeah, you don't need to know who I am, but just know that I'm here and connected to this deer and gonna help. So I'm seeing this spiral, and they're asking you to do a little bit of an opening up of some energy here, of a space here, a space to release our stuff through. Sometimes this will happen, or sometimes I'll see a sacred fire. So we have this. In a moment, we'll have this space opened up in the middle of our circle, where we can all just release whatever it is that we know we're done with. Even if you don't know, like you can ask ask your team to help you to release what is needed to be released. Okay, so I'm also seeing these feathers, and it's like we're all getting this sort of, we're dusted off for this really fluffy looking feather. There's 2 or 3 feathers in this feather fan, and we're all being sort of fanned with these feathers. So it's really very gentle. All of this is very gentle for all of us. And there's a lot of heat, so there's a lot being let go here, but it's being done in a gentle way. It might feel intense for some of you. It might feel intense for you too. I don't know, Michael, but it's all meant to be very gentle, and that's why that deer is here. I'm seeing there's a horse as well, and my drum actually has a horse on it as well. So that makes sense to me. Yeah, and the horse is saying that it's actually about being free. It's about feeling that sense of being free. So just breathing here. Make sure you're breathing into your belly. I'm seeing more trees, but these ones are way back in the background, and there's like a mountain in the background behind you, and that's where I see and they're also hardwood trees. They're not evergreens. They're all hardwood. They look like aspen trees. And the trees are kind of talking to me and saying, you know what? And you're not physically seeing or whatever, these animals that are here, but there are so much life that lives amongst those trees. So much life, like so many animals and birds and, insects and little plants, all kinds of life living there. And they're showing me the forest floor there, and it almost looks like a rainforest, but it's not. But it just is so lush with life. So this is like always really good news. That always is about growth, and thank goodness, because boy, we've had a long enough winter over here anyway. Um, but it does feel like there's just a lot of good growth around you, and it's really it is kind of gentle, but at the same time, it's like we're here. Like you've done a lot of growing already, and they're kind of like yeah, and here you are. So it's not like there's a lot of growing to be done, really. It's kind of like you're growing and you're here doing it. Um, like we never stop growing as humans, so that will continue. But they're not trying to say you need to do a lot of work. That's what I mean. So I'm seeing, I'm feeling a goddess too, and I don't know which one. She's just right behind you, and she's faceless. I don't see, she's not letting me see her face, which is fine. Sometimes they will, and sometimes they don't. But she leans over to someone else that's there, a little girl that's there beside her, and she's instructing her to do some kind of ceremony for you. She's putting some things together and doing this ceremony. Oh, she's saying that the goddess is her mother, because she's calling her mummy, and she's doing all these things and being sort of trained, I guess, and doing these things for her mother, the goddess. um, so I know we have mother, maiden, and crone goddesses, and so this is definitely one of the mothers. And yeah, she brings in all of this kind of yellow and green energy that she brings in. She's new to me, so I feel like she's one of yours, Michael. And it could be that she's also belonging to some of, she's connected to some of you also that are here, but she's here. Just bringing her energy and kind of lending that to you by standing close to you. More like hovering, but she's right there, close to you. And there's another deer I see, but this is a male deer. This is like the partner of that female deer, and he's sitting in front of you. Full antlers out, so it's not. This is like a little bit into the future too, because we're not in the spring anymore. The antlers are already budded and out and grown and full. So it's a little ways later into the season that they're showing us. They're showing us a little bit into the future about whatever's happening with this growth. I'm going to ask if there's anything else, because I feel like we're almost complete with what they wanted to share. But I wanted to also ask, just for everyone here, like, is there like a collective message, or anyone's ancestors here that want to show up? And now I like the room fills up. Like I see this guy that's to your right, Michael. He looks like a king, like from a fable book or whatever. Like he has this beard, and like you would see on TV. It's kind of funny how he shows up like that. But he has black hair, and he has a beard. His hair is kind of long. He's not wearing a crown or anything, but it's just he looks like from that kind of era where those kings and queens and reigned and stuff. And he definitely feels like he is the boss, and he's a little bit even egotistical about it. And he's to the right. He's just showing up. He's just here, and I feel like he's from your past, one of your past lives. That's what I feel like. It could be intergenerational too, but I feel like it's a past life. So just checking in if there's anyone else. Someone's telling me rain, 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 rain. Um, I don't know what that's about, but I've been hearing that all day too, and I feel like that's a message for all of us. That one of the things I learned yesterday from a Cree elder is that it's not truly spring until the thunder comes, and we haven't had that yet. And I feel like maybe that's connected to that, and that it's going to happen soon. But yeah, this message about rain, and I see all this rain just flying down, like pouring down. And rain is so cleansing. So if that happens in the next few days for any of you, like get out in the rain, because it will help you to cleanse yourself. It will help you to just release a lot of stuff. It's such good medicine for us. We just don't realize it sometimes. They want me to wrap up this kind of little energy portal that is sort of a depository for all of our stuff that we're letting go right now. So if you have whatever it is that you want to put in there, just imagine that there's a space in the middle of the circle, because there is, that is an open, almost like a black hole. It's just going to disappear into this space and completely be recycled, regenerated into something new that can be used by I don't even think it's Mother Earth. This is where we're not even this is like perhaps from the stars or somewhere else, but out in the universe. But this is here to take that from us and just transform it into reusable energy. So you can feel free to just imagine yourself, maybe you're dropping it in there directly, maybe you're breathing it out and putting it in there. However you feel like you want to do that, and just dropping it there. And know that anything you're not done with, that you think you're done with, might still hang around. That happens because we need to process things, or we need to still learn something from an experience, or just go through it so that we can help others with something similar later on. But whatever you're really ready to release is you can let that go in there. Okay, so they're going to close that up in a second. So complete that for yourself. And let's take 2 breaths. And by then, we'll be complete with that letting go. So breathing into your belly. And then breathing out. And then one more. Breathing into your belly. And one more. They want one more. Breathing into your belly. And we're going to blow it out this time. Blow it hard out. They're sealing up that space. And just, it's gone. Whatever that was, you don't think about it anymore. Just, let it be gone. It might be just a layer of a thing. It might be the whole thing, but just let it be gone. And know that it's not going to hurt anyone anymore, not hurt you, not hurt anyone. And it's just being recycled, being turned into something good. Yeah, so I feel a lot of water here as well. They're just like, I'm almost complete, but I always ask, okay, is there anything more? And what I see is this it's like we're in or hovering above the ocean, and it's really like lots of high waves, but it feels safe. Like it feels like it's supporting us. It's there to support us. And literally the fact of it being salt water is what we need. Like there needs to be, for some reason, we are receiving this, almost like you're being splashed from below from this seawater. And we need that particular kind of, not just regular water, but that is to be splashed onto us. And it doesn't mean you have to go find an ocean after this session, by the way. It just means that that's what we're getting now. And I know it's something to do with grounding us, and it's also a reminder to get grounded. So just bringing yourself back into your body. And whatever you're feeling or experiencing, or if you're seeing anything and you want to take notes or write it down, like, or just sit and kind of soak it up so you don't forget. This is a good time to do that. And then feel again, feel again your feet underneath you, or if some of you are lying down, then feel the surface that is supporting you, and yourself, your back or your butt, whatever is being supported by the earth right now, by whatever surface you're on, and just feel the physicality of your body. And maybe start wiggling fingers and toes and just kind of gently moving, but letting your body lead you. Don't try to move, right? We're not trying, we're just allowing. So allowing your body to do what it needs to do. If it's a gentle stretch, or if it's nothing at all, and you're just coming back into it. And then what I like to do when I open my eyes is I'll take my sweet time opening them. I'll look down first, and you can do however you want and take the time you need. and breathing as well into your belly still. And I look down because it reminds me of the ground, of the earth. And then I will kind of look around my base here and be, okay, we're here. It always looks way brighter than it did before for some reason. But I'll look around and just, I want to be physically here. Yeah. And so, and if you need further grounding, like drink some water. Drink some water. I'm going to do that myself. Okay. So I am going to well, we're complete with this kind of this part of the this session, and so Michael, feel free to come off mute, and if you want to turn your camera on, you can. If you want to leave it off, that's fine too. Um, yeah. Cool. And yeah, so in the chat too, like let me know like what was your experience like? And I'm going to ask Michael what was your experience if you want to share anything about what just happened.
Yeah, I've just been here petting my kitty cat, one of the ones that we still have, and drinking the water. And you know, it's interesting. Like at certain moments, it's like my kitty like came to me as if like just asking me to pet him and started purring at some moment. So I always take that as a good sign. Stuff like that, feels like the right track. Um, the thing that came to me when you mentioned the trees, I thought, because you mentioned it was some, I mean, because I thought of because I've always been the kind of person to really feel more at home in nature. It's like I'm in a larger formed city like Toronto, but I've always felt very connected to nature. Like that's where I want to be. There's a beautiful, beautiful park around here called North Park that my best friend, who's also very much I guess into and spiritually geared towards this kind of like the kind of thing that you do. Like me and her went there together and just had this bigger, longer form talk and release kind of thing as well. And the thing that came to mind right away, almost without thinking about it, when you mentioned the trees, is like replanting. Somehow the word replanting came to mind.
Mm.
So whatever it means, like replanting peace or just the idea of almost like a regrowth, maybe. I don't know, something like that. And it's interesting you mentioned horse in the context of freedom. I was out walking a couple, maybe like sometime either earlier this week or last week. I was out walking, and I was walking past just like someone's house. I was trying to find this like park path because that's just the kind of thing I always do on my walks. I never like to walk around by the traffic. Like I think like I don't know if it's that I feel too awkward to be around people or that traffic is too loud. I do have the noise sensitivity. That's also an autism thing. But anyway, I was walking by this one house, and I saw like this horse. It was like this incredible horse statue. It's this little like stone thing about yay big. This is bad lighting. This is bad lighting, but it was
That's
this little
okay.
stone thing about yay big, and like I just had the sense like I took one look at the horse, and the thing that came to mind is like freedom right away. And I thought I just stood and looked for a bit, and I also kind of had the sense of like I I almost kind of wonder if I'm the first one actually appreciating this horse stone statue in a long time. Like maybe they just have it out there as a lawn ornament, but no one ever appreciates it. You know what I mean? But I just walked and I stood to like, this is a. But I felt deep down like it was something for me. It was like this horse statue with the it kind of like it could have been like resting on his but like but the front the front what do you call it, like legs were either tucked under or just not actually carved. So that was kind of neat as well. And
Yeah, that's
yeah,
really cool. Clearly a sign for sure. Yeah.
yeah, I really so as well.
Awesome. Do you have any idea
And
about, and you don't have to tell us what it is, but do you have any idea about the whatever is irritating you? I'm just curious.
yeah, okay, so like whatever's irritating me, I've recently got a new pair of headphones. That's the good news, but I haven't set it up yet. I tried setting up the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth gave me a hard time. Mommy just ordered the wire. The wire just came in. And one of my old pairs, I actually used this pair for the longest time, including for our last session. And then it just like the wire, like it just one day it just, and I was like, okay, I guess I need new ones now. Just, and I guess what you said about the pushing thing, because I keep telling mommy that, you know what, this Chinese place was incredible. I'd really love to go back. The people there were friendly, but she's often busy. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll do my best to help you out. But I just have this, sometimes I want to make things happen, but something else that came to mind, even as I did this, because I almost kind of feel like every time we've done one of these sessions, I only ever went when I was guided by my intuition to do it, if that makes sense.
Yep.
It's like, I never just came out because it was like, okay, I'm gonna go bug Brenda again about something or anything like that. It was because I feel like, hey, now's the time somehow. And I've also I've always felt like I have a sense of what do you call it? Like intuition, where you kind of like sense what's going to happen. And it's just been
Yeah.
like a fixture for me. It's just been like a thing for me for most of my life. It's like I would like sense that something's gonna happen and it would happen. Or one time I was on my way with mommy to get a shawarma and I said, well, hang on, so let me just feel this out for a bit. Our spot is gonna be free. My favorite spot where I feel like the feng shui is right correct, but there's gonna be like people nearby. That should be okay. Our spot should be free. And it was exactly like that. So it's things like that. Even like before, like because you've done other of these hot seat sessions before,
Yep.
and even like for some of the other ones, like I didn't sign up, but for this one I signed up, and I almost had the sense like, okay, something told me, huh, it's gonna be me this time, and I didn't really think much of it, and it turns out, so isn't that interesting? Like, so I know things like this are like, what's the word for it?
Yeah. No,
Things
you're
like intuition. It's
right.
a
Yeah.
hmm?
It is. It's intuition for sure. And just being deeply connected to yourself. Like, and that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about with the not trying thing because that's how that's happening, right? Because you're not trying.
yeah, exactly. So I know that, so I know eh, so I know that intuition, like anything, is one of those like I guess like skills that can always be worked on and improved or like enhanced to a level, if that makes sense. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for having the courage to do this live here with everybody. That's
Thank
big.
you.
That's big. So everyone, give Michael a hand. Give him
Yes,
whatever thumbs up or whatever emoji you can find there.
thanks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get it.
and thank you for doing this. And yeah, and I'll follow up with you later so we make sure that you're you know how we do our sessions and have a follow up. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
All right. Thank you.
yeah, so Miigwech, hi, thank you. I'm gonna take you out of the spotlight again, and there we go. Yeah, so I want to see now in the chat. I'm all curious, like what happened to everyone else here. Um, and lots of love for you in the chat too, Michael. That's beautiful. Feeling Thunderbird Spirit, Star People Clan, feel light, fully relaxed, full, relaxed. Cried, goosebumps, awesome. That's deep connection, love it. Um, Beautiful. And if anyone else wants to share, feel free to share in there too. And I love the emojis. That's so awesome. And I love that the cat thing too, Michael, because just so everybody knows, like that happens a lot. People will tell me their cat just all of a sudden showed up or like did something funny, let out a sigh or whatever. And sometimes my cat will come, but usually he's like grumpy about it and doesn't want to share me. I saw a woman in a boat on the lake. Ah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. A fire and a drum, and he cried. When you cry, those are spirit tears. That's what I call them, or medicine tears. And it's so beautiful when you do that, when you let that come out, because that's medicine for us. Huge. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to cry, but it's when we let ourselves feel, that's where the healing is. Yeah. Which is why our planet's kind of a mess right now, if you haven't noticed, because a lot of people don't like to feel. And then their feelings kind of like explode out of them and hit people like us who are empathic. So, yeah, Jesus appeared, not surprised with all that golden light. Yeah, beautiful. Yes, Nibia's life, water's life. Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, so what we're going to do, and at this point, I am going to share about the 13 sessions that you all have a chance to get. And in a moment after that, then you'll have a chance to do that. So, and I just want to honor, I see one other thing in the chat there. Aerial view of big bushy trees surrounding a marsh on the edge of a very calm lake, very large calm lake. Beautiful. Beautiful. And you saw a deer. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So, because some of those might be your helpers that showed up, or it could be that some of those figures that were there were connected to any of you as well. Like that will just happen. And of course, goddesses are for whoever, like for all of us. But yeah, I have the same question for you before I start talking about this as I had for Michael, which is, are you ready and willing to take the leaps that you're given? Be present for what shows up, clear out what is not you and does not serve you, and allow yourself to receive the right support specifically for you to help you change your life. That's the question. And oh, goddess. Oh, you feel the goddess was Artemis or Diana. Yeah, cool. And I have not. I don't think I've ever gotten them. So yeah, probably. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. So because I want you to be ready, and it's these sessions when they open you up, like I'm going to follow up with Michael, like we're going to have a little talk, because I don't like to leave people hanging after having deep work like this. And so yeah, so if you get one of these sessions, it'll be like getting your foot in the door kind of deeper healing. A little shorter, a little different, because we'll be over Zoom still, but it will just be you and me. And if you're open and ready to go beyond your mini session, that door is going to open wide for you. Like that's what happens, for you to walk right through. So, so I want you to be ready for that. And so if you're willing and ready, yeah, then get yourself a session, and I'll tell you about it first. So we're going to do the check-in. We're going to do a check-in first, kind of like I did with Michael, like just see what's going on. And if you don't have to, you don't have to have anything that you come to me with. You can just kind of like with my oracle readings, like you can tell me something, or you don't have to. It's up to you. Spirit knows what's going on, so it doesn't really matter to me, but it does if it matters to you. So we'll do a check-in first. We'll see, if you have something to focus on, and also if we should proceed, because if it's in alignment with you, and if we are in alignment with doing that, then we will do the session. And when we do the mini session, then afterwards I'm going to share recommendations for you that feel aligned and appropriate for you. So, and if it feels good to both of us, then we'll take the next step in our journey of working together. And if that is not to happen, then I might have other recommendations for you. And these medicine song breakthrough sessions, that's what they're called, will be held over Zoom. If you're feeling called to experience this work in a deeper way, the best way to do that is to get one of these sessions, honestly, because then you can have your own experience, and then we can discuss options and see what might be the best for you. And remember, it's by distance, so it doesn't really matter where you are in the world, because I don't do these in person. It's all by distance, and Zoom for the mentoring part of it. So if you're not there yet too, that's okay. I even have something for you. Like we'll be sharing something in your inbox with you over the next couple of weeks, to help you ease your way into further healing, whether you feel like let's jump in or you don't. It's up to you. So I'll let you know, like the things that happen out of these sessions. What I was thinking about this yesterday, because it's been so varied, and I've been doing it for a long time, but things like a lot of times it's physical pain, and there will be some release that happens. Sometimes it's like completely released and you never have to deal with it again. Sometimes it's a layer. There's purpose work that happens, past life and ancestral healing that happens, and usually over time, like when I get to know a client, right, and I'm working with them for a while, then your same guides are going to show up every now and then, sometimes new ones. If something happened with past life, then we might get to do a little bit more with another session or whatever. So when that happens, it always is really cool, because it's not just about healing your past life or knowing about it. it's actually about finding out some things about that past life, but then healing the entire timeline forward. I'm trying to find space in here and be able to show you my little Zoom square. But like, yeah, it's like healing that timeline all the way forward to here and then bringing the gifts forward from it, which is really, I love that. So, and then also, so most people have a great sleep at the end of the session. I think I've only had one person that said they didn't, and we understood why, because there was something happening there. And yeah, so I mean, I can almost guarantee you that you'll have a great sleep. Maybe tonight too. I don't know. With the small ones, let me know. I'm kind of curious now. So yeah, so this is a mini session. It'll be similar to this, like I said, except it will be just you and me, and you don't have to. That was very courageous of Michael to be in front of everyone doing that, right? Um, and so if this is speaking to you, then I'm going to ask Martha to throw that link in the chat now, and you can go and book your session. So if you can get in. So there's going to be spaces for 13 of you. And, and if it's like blowing up and all of a sudden really full, then I might open up. I'll see if I can open up a few more spaces. But yeah, you'll get to experience a one-on-one session with me. You'll, and we'll find out if there is any further work that we can do together. And if not, then there might be other recommendations too that I have for you, or referrals. So yeah, so please remember to drink lots of water. We are at the new moon soon here, 3 days or 4 days before. There's a lot going on with the planets and everything else, and with our planet, right? There's just a lot going on. Anytime you feel like, you're going through a lot, drink lots of water. It'll help you. And ask the water to help you. So I pray into this water. Someone was mentioning Nibi, that's the Ojibwe word for water. And it's Nipi and Cree. And when you pray to the water and ask for it to help you, it's going to help you. It physically changes the structure of the water when we talk to it or think about it that way. When we have gratitude for the water or love for the water, it completely changes it. And we've known that since time immemorial, and then Dr. Emoto was able to prove that. And anyway, so I could go on and on about water, but I won't, because I want to complete with you and honor our time together. But I want to just say again a special thank you to Michael and to all of you who turned up live and are here. Like, you're showing up for you, but you're also showing up for the 7 generations past who got you here, and the 7 generations forward that because of you being here, you just made a difference for. Pretty wild, right? That's what we get to do. That's what we're here for. So whatever helps us, it's going to help others too. That ripple effect is huge and real. Yeah. So so I am going to send out some email to you. You'll get the replay in the morning. You'll get another email tonight. So those of you who had to leave early, don't worry. Or if you're watching the replay, you're going to have that email with a link to book your session if that's for you. And right now I want to do a traveling song so we can close in a good way. So I'm going to do a song called Reawakening. And Reawakening is a healing song that came for me when I was asked to I was asked to help a family friend, a friend's, I'm like trying to light matches because I'm being told to light matches and do the smudge again for some reason. So I'm going to just honor that. And yeah, so this came for a friend who asked me to pray for her family, and I didn't know why, and she wouldn't tell me why. She was just really freaked out and said, "Now I'm going to leave the country, like bye." So I just honored that, and the way that I pray is this way, right, through song. So I asked for a song, I asked Spirit for a song. And this song came through, and it called itself Reawakening. And it turned out that it was for a person who was considering leaving the planet. They were considering suicide as the only option. And so we, take a belly breath if that is a bit triggering for you, and maybe that's why I was supposed to light this smudge. So, yeah, and why this song is the last one we do. It was about literally reawakening to life. So I often sing this as a traveling song as well, because because it's can be that certain songs are they'll let me know if they're traveling songs. Traveling song has purposes beyond the medicine of the song itself. Um, to close a session like this, to close ceremony, to complete, to let our ancestors, our guides know that we're complete, and let them know the party's over, right? So they're not hanging out here for the rest of the night. And also, it is literally for safe travels. So if any of you are going anywhere, safe travels, and to have gratitude for yourself for showing up, for each other, right? And for all of our support, all of our higher realm support as well. So I'm being told too, if you know anyone that needs some healing that isn't here tonight, to offer this invitation. Like, just consider this like an invitation. It's not like trying to make them receive healing, right? A lot of people do that. No, it's like just imagine you're inviting them to the circle. You're just inviting them, their energy, to come and receive healing if they would like, and their spirit will know if they want to receive it, they will. Yeah. So that's what I'm being told, and I'm gonna share reawakening with you. Reawakening with you. All right. So I'll do my 4 honor beats. I'm sending out all of our prayers, all of our intentions again, all of our gratitude into the 4 directions, and really in all directions, thanking all of our support. Yes, miigwech, ai hai. Let's thank you in Ojibwe and Cree and Bama P. I will say see you later. We don't have a word for goodbye. And Muestas. And again, drink lots of water. That link is in the chat for you, and it will be in the email that goes out as well. So get on my calendar and grab yourself a spot while they're still here. And I hope to talk to you soon. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. I'm just watching the chat.
Chimiquech, Walalen, Bama P.
Bama.